Hi, and welcome back to the 5-Minute Farmer, still at my dad's house. I'm going to walk you through front to back of his garden. We've mapped out what is being planted in each bin. So let me show you what we're going to grow this year here, and then we'll do another video of what we're going to do at my house. So I'm standing at what I call the front of his garden because it's what's towards his house. That's the back of his garden. So in these two front raised beds, we have acorn squash and cucumber. Then on this side, we have another variety of cucumber. And then in this bed, another variety of cucumber. Here's our onion plants. And then this whole bed is going to be one variety of carrot. Then over on this side, we're doing two varieties of lettuce. And then we have more onions, garlic. Then our next row here, we have garlic, onion, strawberries, onion, a second variety of carrots. Next row up, our third variety of carrots, onion. This whole bin will be peas. Then this bin, the front half here towards me, will be pepper. Then you saw our video with the tomato trellises, so we are getting tomato plants. And that's more garlic. Our next row here, this entire bin will be beans, onions. This bin will be split between turnips and peas, one variety of peas. This bin where our other tomatoes will go, we'll do some plants and then the heirloom seeds that I shared in a past video. And we're going to pair that with celery. Then the last bin, there's garlic. And here in our first bin, we're splitting it radish and another variety of pea. Then we'll have peppers and tomatoes. And there's another garlic. And then on this side, we have more onions. And then we're going to do two varieties of beets. Then across the back here, we will have summer squash or crooked neck squash, whatever you want to call it, pumpkins. Then we will have butternut squash and zucchini. So that's all the plants we're going to do in his garden this year. And these bins where we have multiple, like the peppers and tomatoes and the radish and peas, more peppers and tomatoes up there, celery, tomatoes. We have looked up to make sure that these are plants that grow well together and have done these pairings specifically for that reason.
Okay, so if you have a garden either as big as mine or as small as Allie's, you're going to buy a package of seeds. Now, these bins are roughly 3 feet by 4 feet, a little bit smaller than that, but even in the best of days, I couldn't grow this whole package of seeds that's going to come in here. So what do you do with the extra seeds? Well, these are camera lens cases, and as you can see, we have them marked and have different types of leftover seeds in the packages. Just a nice convenient way to keep these things organized. So when we don't use all of these seeds, we have a place to keep them for future years, or if some don't take, then we can replant these same seeds that we started earlier in the year. So the other important part of growing a garden is we're facing east this way. You're in the west, there's south, there's north, but as you see, we have all the garlic growing over there, and we have 3 trellises for tomatoes. That's going to be 6 plants. But as those plants grow up, and last year those are almost 8 feet tall, they reach the top of those. Now, hopefully they'll be good this year, but those are going to shade out everything on the east side. So by the time those tomato plants grow that big, the garlic plants will be harvested. And the same thing needs to happen in the rest of your bins. You don't want a big plant to shade out another plant and diminish its growth. So we're trying to set things up the best we can. Okay, so we've moved a little bit here. So let's talk about the different plants that we're growing and why we grow so many of certain things. Now, over to the east, you see the 2 big bins of potatoes. We've got 10 bins full. We've gotten over 200 pounds of potatoes. We do a lot of garlic. I don't think you use that much garlic, but we give it away. We have a lot of onions, and we have a lot of carrots. And the reason for those is those types of vegetables store well. those potatoes can be stored for months on end. We still have a little bit of garlic from last year. The carrots, depending on how you can store them, you can get 2, 3, maybe 4 months out of them. And onions, we still have a few onions from last year, although they're getting pretty thin. So those big 4 crops we grow a lot of because we can store them through the winter months and use them throughout the year. The other things we grow just enough to either give away or use. Most of these things don't store very well long term. So once again, pick what you like to eat and your friends like to eat, and let's start growing.